Morning, dear students. I am Sanju Hazria, Assistant Professor of English at Government College Ratangarh. I welcome you in my channel. Today I am going to explain Robert Browning's poem Rabi Ben Ezra's 6th to 10th stanzas. In my previous video, I have explained 1st to 5th stanzas, and this poem is included in BA Part 2nd by MGS University Bikaner. This is our 6th stanza. Then welcome each rebuff that turns earth's smoothness rough, each sting that beats no sit, no stand but go. Be our joys 3 parts pain, strive and hold cheap thy strain, learn nor account the pain, dare never grudge the throat. Then means if we are nearest to God, then what we should do? Then we should welcome each rebuff. Rebuff means disappointment. So then, if it is so, if a man has in him a divine spark and he is very closer to God than other creatures, he should welcome disappointments. All the disappointments and failures of man should be welcomed. That turns earth's smoothness rough. That means that struggle, these disappointments make the smooth course of life rugged and hard. This makes these struggles and these disappointments make our life full of hardships. And then we should enjoy it, and then we should welcome it. Each sting that beats no sit, no stand but go. Each sting means every sting, every kind of pain and trouble that beats, that says nor sit nor stand but go. We should not sit, we should nor stand, but we should continue our journey, but we should continue our efforts. Be our joys 3 parts pain. Man should not grudge 3 parts of pain. If our life is full of pains, and if man is having so much struggle in his life, man should not grudge if 3 parts of his life are full of pain and only 1 part gives him joy. Strive means struggle, and hold cheap thy strength. Struggle and continue the efforts for improvement. Strive, we should struggle and continuously we should do the effort for improvement. And hold cheap thy strength. And man should not mind the pain, man should not complain about the pain and suffering which heroic effort brings in their trial to make progress. Learn. Let life be made better by the growing experience. We should learn from these struggles, from these disappointments, and we should get experience. So let life be made better by the growing experience. Nor account the pain. Disregard all the trouble that one has to face. Pain means pain. Dare. Be bold and courageous. Man should be bold and courageous. Never grudge the throat. And man should not complain. Man should never complain the agony experienced in encountering difficulties, in facing difficulties and troubles. I think you understood it. And now we are heading towards next stanza. For thence a paradox which comforts while it mocks, shall life succeed in that it seems to fail? What I aspire to be and was not comforts me. A brute I might have been, but would not sink I the scale. For thence, it follows then, when we are struggling, when we are having pain in our life, so for thence, it follows then paradox. What is paradox? Paradox is such type of an opinion which is contrary to the popular opinion of society. The paradox in Browning's statement is that he regarded a life full of failure as a successful one, provided failures are experienced in pursuing high aims. Means we should pursue high aims, and if we get failure, it is also a success for getting experience. Which comforts while it mocks. It gives us comfort. It gives us consolation while it mocks. While we are failing, it also gives us comfort. So which comforts while it mocks means the thought that failures are the high road to success gives consolation to us in our lives. Shall life succeed in that it seems to fail? Now he is asking, Rabbi Ben Ezra is asking a question. Can that life be considered successful which is full of failures? What I aspired to be, what I wanted to achieve, what the poet, what the narrator desired to achieve and was not and could not get that and could not attain but failed to attain what he wanted. Comforts me, gives consolation, gives comfort to the narrator in his failure. A brute I might have been if I have not faced those struggles. I may have a brute. A brute means animal like qualities. So without the high deals, without the high ideals, he would have been no better than a brute or animal or very low type of person, but would not sink I the scale. But Rabbi Ben Ezra is saying Rabbi did not tolerate the idea of coming low in the scale of human life. He always believed in high aspiration, high ideals, and aspired to attain them in his life. So we also try to achieve high aspirations, high ideals in our life. So this is our 7th stanza, and now we are heading towards next stanza. What is he but a brute, whose flesh has soul to shoot, whose spirit works lest arms and legs won't play? Two men propose this test, thy body at its best. How far can that project thy soul on its lone way? What is he but a brute? Brute, I have told the meaning in previous stanza. Brute means animal like qualities. What is he but a brute? Means that man is no better than an animal whose flesh has soul to shoot, who thinks his flesh, his body is also like his body also working like a soul. So whose flesh has soul to shoot means who considers his soul as a part of the body, who regards his existence bound and limited by his body and does not value the soul and its aspirations, whose spirit works lest arms and legs won't play. Whose spirit works means one who rejects that soul and only tempers the body, only works on the body and he only believes in bodily pleasures, one who cares only for the play of the body without caring for the soul. Two men propose this test. So let this test be put before man, whether he would like to lead a life of suffering and keep higher spiritual feeling in him. So this test should be given to man. Thy body at its best. Thy means your. Thy body at its best means when a person is enjoying physical comforts to the fullest extent and he is valuing body more than soul. How far can that project thy soul on its lone way? How far? He is asking the question. Rabbi Ben Ezra is asking the question. How far can that project, that carry forward? That idea when we are giving more importance to our body than the soul. So how far can the tempering of the body help a man to in carrying forward on its lone way? Means when the soul goes all alone in its disembodied form after death of the body on its spiritual work, such type of bodily pleasures does not help soul in that work. I think you understood it, and now we are heading towards next stanza. Yet gifts should prove their use. I own the past profuse of power is side, perfection every turn, eyes, ears took in their dole, brain treasured up the whole, should not the heart beat once, how good to live and learn. Yet gifts should prove their use. After all such type of sufferings, gifts. Gifts means the gifts which are given by God. Gifts, these pleasures given by God. So the physical gifts and comforts should be properly utilized. Yet gifts should prove their use. Use means utilize. We should utilize these physical gifts and comforts properly for our spiritual advancement. I own the past profuse. I own means Rabbi Ben Ezra considers the past profuse, the past life of person profuse of great advantage. Means the past is very useful to get experience of power each side, perfection every turn. At every turn of life, he found power and perfection. Okay, he found in every turn of life power and perfection which helped him in his spiritual progress. Eyes, ears took in their dole. Eyes and ears enjoyed the pleasures of life to the fullest extent. So Rabbi's contact through his senses with the external world gave him vivid recollection of the pleasures of life enjoyed by him. Means through our eyes and ears, by our senses, we can enjoy our life, the beautiful nature. Brain treasured up the whole, and all such type of pleasurable memories are treasured, are collected like treasure by the brain. Should note the heartbeat once. Now he is asking the question, how good to live and learn. Should note heartbeat once means Rabbi is grateful for all the joys of living. So how good to live and learn. It is very good to live and learn. So it is very good. Life is not bad and nor a vale of tears. It is good to live in the world and learn lessons of spiritual livings. It is full of joys and helps in spiritual betterment. So this was our 9th stanza, and now we are heading to our 10th stanza. Not once beat, praise be thine, I see the whole design, I who so power, see now love perfect too, perfect I call thy plan. Thanks that I was a man, maker, remake, complete, I trust what thou shalt do. Praise be thine. Now Rabbi Ben Ezra wants to praise God. Not once be it. He is asking to a person, we should at least once praise the God. Praise be thine. Should we not even once praise God for all the joys and pleasures that he has conferred on us? Thine means yours. So we should praise you for conferring so much pleasures and beauties to us, joys to us. I see the whole design. Design means plan. I can see the whole design. In his old age, Rabbi Ben Ezra can see it is possible for him to have a comprehensive view of the entire plan and design of the Creator. In youth, he could not have a full view of God's plan in creating the universe. I who saw the power. I means Rabbi Ben Ezra, who saw the power, who only saw the power. In his young age, Rabbi regarded God as the embodiment of power. See now, love perfect too. But now, in his old age, he can see, Rabbi now considers God as the incarnation of love. Perfect I call thy plan. Thy means your. Perfect. I can call your plan is perfect. God's plan of the creation of the world is perfect. Rabbi realizes in his old age that God does nothing which may stand in the way of man's real interests. I was a man. Thanks that I was a man. I am very thankful. Rabbi Ben Ezra is saying that I am very thankful that you create me like a man. Rabbi is thankful to God for having created him as a man. Maker. Maker, here maker is God. Remake, complete. means create him so that he attains greater perfection. I trust what thou shalt do. I trust you. Thou means you. So Rabbi has full faith in what God would do for him for his welfare. So Rabbi Ben Ezra has full trust in God. Whatever he will do, he will do for his betterment of his soul, for his goodness. So this was our last stanza, and in my next video I will explain 11th to 16th stanzas, and I think you understood it. Thanks for watching this video.